I want to show what normal operation looks like. So I just pulled in and the Jeep seems to be fine now. I put it in park, and as you can see, the transmission temperature is showing 206 degrees Fahrenheit, which if I cycle through is the same as the coolant temperature. So by design, the TCM along with the NAG1 engine, when the Jeep is in reverse or drive, outputs transmission temperature, and when it's in park or neutral, it outputs engine temperature, which is the equivalent of coolant temperature. So while the display of trans temp here doesn't change, the actual value, the number, the temperature being displayed does. So I'm going to go ahead and put my foot on the brake and put the Jeep in reverse, and you can see it's jumped down to 161. So that's standard. Anywhere between 160 and 170 is the temperature I've been seeing, at least here where I am, for normal driving. And then as I go into neutral, it takes a second, it'll jump back up to display the same temperature as previously, the coolant temperature, 208. If I cycle through, you'll see that matches coolant temperature 208. And now back to the trans temperature display. If I go into park, drive, it goes immediately to transmission temperature. And so, as I've said before, the TCM, when I'm having issues, the TCM is not recognizing that the Jeep is in park or neutral, and therefore will not let me start the car. I will just sort of demonstrate normal operations for when in park. Give it a second, the temperature should jump. There you go, 208. So I can switch the engine off, and I can start the engine without any issue. Just put the windows down because it's getting kind of hot in here. Alright, I can put the Jeep in neutral. Switch the engine off. I can't pull the key out, but that's okay. Temperature display goes. I can put the Jeep back into the on position, and you can see it showing 210 for the temperature, which is in fact the coolant temperature. Therefore, Jeep knows that I'm in park and in neutral in this case, park neutral interlock, and therefore it'll start. Now I'm going to put it back in park, switch off the engine, put the engine back to on. So now I'm actually going to put the car in gear. So I'm into the transmission temperature is showing 212, which is the coolant temperature. I'm going to move the Jeep now into drive. And you can see the transmission temperature is now down in 161 degrees. Brake lights flashing because I have the e-brake on. But I'm going to try to start the car now, and the car does not start. I'll just show that I'm actually turning the key, and Jeep's not starting. And that's by design because the Jeep knows or believes and it is actually in drive. The issue I've been having is there are times that I put the Jeep in park or neutral, and the TCM doesn't register that. It still displays the transmission temperature. Again, I'll cycle through now just to show the coolant temperature 13, transmission temperature 161. There's been times where I put the Jeep in park and that temperature doesn't change, which indicates the TCM still thinks the Jeep is in drive or reverse, and therefore by design will not allow the Jeep to start. I'm in park now. I'm going to turn the key. Jeep starts without a problem.